Alright, so Dandadan 172 was peak. This chapter was the absolute definition of chaos, and heck, I'm pretty sure Momo straight up murdered Koki with a desk. I mean, look at those cheeks, man, they're smushed. She's dead. But there is a lot of context clues around this chapter we absolutely need to talk about, because they could spell some significant ramifications for this arc, but especially future ones. So let's jump into it. Last video received 289 likes. Thank you. So I'm challenging you to get this video to 320 likes. As well, use my partner code CTactics to get 10% off any order of gamer subs at checkout and support me and the channel. All right, so let's get into this wild chapter. Sadly, I have to announce immediately to everyone that Okaroon had to cut Ira's hair. This is a sad day for all of us. And I hope eventually as humanity we can move past this. But I don't know if we can. But what I do know is I am incredibly hurt right now and I feel like throwing up. Anyways, they need to cut off their hair because of the tonadas that are sewing everything to, well, everything? And this only gets worse throughout the chapter too, by the way. There are even more dangers as there is gas leaking into the room. So there is added tension in which they just, if they create a spark, they go boom. Because if they do, then the main cast of Dandadan probably is going to start looking like the end of a Michael Bay shoot. But I must admit, there is something really funny about Ira and Okaroon, who can't see the tonadas. I mean, they're just flailing around wildly with a knife, and Ira's just kicking the air. Like, imagine walking into that room. And what's crazier is that in reality, this room is covered with these tonadas. So much so, they're climbing on the walls, the ceiling, and eventually their clothing. So they all essentially start to take all of their clothes off as a way to swat at them and try at least to get them away. And obviously it doesn't work because they are so incredibly fast. They can sew them into the ground itself at an insane speed. And I'm really starting to think that these tonadas aren't paranormal, and at this point are most likely some sort of alien species, much like the Serpoians or Vamola. It's just another variant that seems to have paranormal-like abilities, I think. Also, this concept is just really cool in general. In a sense, it reminds me of those troll movies from back in the day. Never seen them, by the way, but we've all at least seen the movie or seen the clips, I'm sure, right? I think it's the knife traps and the bows and stuff like that, which it just reminds me of it, and I find so interesting. It's something different and creative, which adds a lot of intrigue to these chapters. In other words, you know, it's cool, man. And speaking of cool, I can't remember if Ira has done this before, so apologies if that's the case, but I love that she used her hair as a shield from the knives as we see her clothes like meld into the ground and into each other. It's in the middle of this chaos that Momo comes to the realization that all of this has to be because of that mysterious girl, Koki. But there's a problem. Momo can't tell where she is because her aura is hidden. However, it reveals to Momo that Koki herself is the weak point, which is some really good deductive reasoning thinking, whatever you call it. As you can tell, I'm not very good at it, but Momo is. And as Ira and Okaroon continue to strip, which is just funny in of itself, like Ira is okay with stripping in front of Okaroon. She is such a simp in so many ways. It's just so funny. But my guess is that Ira is about to be murderized by Momo by the end of this arc. I mean, like turbo murdered. So the plan is to lure them away so that they can be attacked. So basically, you just keep moving. This part was really fun too, as they're just dodging knives, and Ira is just, my God, this girl is living her best life, jumping around and calling everyone honorable fools, whatever the hell that means. Even Okaroon is incredibly athletic too, which once again, it builds upon the continued storyline of Okaroon being so powerful, yet not having Turbo Granny at all. And even Momo is impressed too, seeing it as his fitness just being next level. But here is something incredibly creepy. The tonadas can even sew flesh into the ground. And I don't know about you, but that's low-key some nightmare fuel. I'm glad it's the morning for me when these chapters come out. But while that happens, we see them converge all of their knife traps on them, aiming directly at them. And on top of that, they ignite these burners in the stoves. And it seems like pretty much everything and anything is going wrong at this point. But Momo comes in clutch and finally is able to find the aura of Koki and proceeds to lob a desk directly at her, literally killing this woman. Seriously, I think Momo may be in fact charged with murder after this chapter. Well, she will anyways after she kills Ira, because you don't come back from that. Now, that being said, though, this moment was still pretty incredible, and I can't wait to see how this is done in the anime. This may be actually one of my favorite chapters in the current arc, because the action was just so great with all of its creativity. I know it's currently a meme to compare this to JoJo, but I think that's apt and a very great comparison in the sense that JoJo and Dandadan are both some of the most creative series you can read or watch in shonen. However, we gotta talk about Koki, man, because this final page, it asks so many questions. It seems that something was able to hide Koki, and the ramifications could be big for her character and this arc. Because my first thought was that the tonadas were the ones that created a highly realistic looking thread that perfectly blended into the background, which is plausible and a good theory. But it also could be a cloak, sorta like in Harry Potter. You put the cloak on and it makes you completely invisible. However, there's just one minor detail that's pretty massive. The cloak ability, whatever that may be, was able to hide the aura of Koki pretty well. So this makes me wonder, is this spirit or alien tech? Now, last video, we sort of went into this in a lot of detail, so I'll spare you those details for that video. But the real question now is if this cloaking ability is spiritual or biologically made. And as far as I can remember, my memory's bad, but we've not explored that much the ability for something to hide a person's aura. I mean, we'll just have to wait and see, I guess. But also another detail is the fire extinguisher. Since that desk stove is currently on, maybe this is a setup for the next episode for that to be used against the tonadas or, potentially stop a fire, but we'll have to see. But I thought that was just a nice detail, just kind of mention here at the end, I guess. Otherwise, this chapter was really damn good and a lot of fun. Not big on story, but the spectacle of this chapter was just so dang good. I feel like we're being spoiled with a lot of really interesting stuff this arc. I mean, I absolutely love Koki so far. I love the tonadas. I think they're a great addition and a good callback to JoJo too, and maybe a little bit of One Piece? Who knows? Seriously, guys, gals, nothing makes me happier than Dandadan Monday. Mondadan! And this chapter was no different. So I will see you guys next week with a new chapter, but we got a little bit of updates before we end the video. We are so close to getting monetized on the channel. Look at that. We are literally like 200 watch hours away. So let's get the video to 300 likes to help get there even quicker. We also just got 2,000 subscribers. Oh my God. Thank you guys. So you know what that means, right? In the future, after I finish the Turbo Granny arc review, we will officially be making a video for the acrobatic Silky arc as well. So Jesus, guys, you guys have been supporting us so much. I love you all. So get subbed, stay hyped, feel the joy, everyone. Another Dandadan down, another one to go. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.